Hey everybody, Chris with you. Quick videos tonight, but I want to prove my point, and I'm going to use the prosecution's own words in the trial to prove my point. And my point is, and this is huge news, Alec Murdaugh could not have committed the crimes. Creighton Waters is going to tell you what happened. Kenny Kinsey's going to tell you what happened. Agent Worley's going to tell you what happened. and then I will at the end. We'll see at the end.
Same with Maggie, because Maggie sees what happens and she comes running over there, running to her baby. Probably the last thing on her mind, thinking that it was him who had done this, she's running to her baby while he's picked up the blackout and opens fire at close range, again with no defensive wounds. And she takes those two shots that you heard Dr. Reamer say were parallel, and it crumples her over. Outside that feed room. And just moments later, he picked up a 300 blackout, which is a type of ammunition, but an AR-style rifle. And the evidence is going to show that the family had multiple weapons throughout the property. Picked up that 300 blackout rifle and opened fire on his wife, Maggie, just feet away near some sheds that used to be a hangar. Pow, pow. 2 shots, abdomen in the leg, and took her down. And after that, there were additional shots, including 2 shots to the head that, again, did catastrophic damage and killed her instantly. Didn't see a threat coming from their attacker. And the evidence is also going to show that both Pat, Maggie, and Paul were shot at extremely close range. The evidence is going to show it's called stippling. It's almost like a tattoo, that when you get shot very close to a weapon, it leaves marks that the forensic pathologist can see. They were shot at close range and they did not have defensive wounds.
Could someone have been a lookout there? They went there to kill Paul, and that's the lookout. Maggie surprised them. They thought she was gone.
Have no idea.
Reasonable though, right? Right?
I wasn't there.
I know you weren't there, but none of us were there. We're trying to figure out what happened that night. And clearly, one reasonable explanation is 2 shooters. One explanation.
One.
Right. And a number of them. I'd like to offer this to Devin. Based on your calculations, both of those shots came well to the right, if you're facing the feed room, well to the right of where the feed room is, correct?
Thereabouts.
I'm sorry?
Thereabouts, yes.
Thereabouts?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to look for some concise, you're a criminalist. You would agree with me that they did not come from the feed room, or
Right.
the vicinity of the feed room, and they're literally yards away from the feed room, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to beat that, of course, anymore.
So there you have it. In the first video, we have Creighton Waters saying that Maggie was coming from the hangar. The hangar. She was running in video number 2, running from the hangar. Ladies and gentlemen, why was she running from the hangar? Because she was in said hangar. And not only was she in said hangar, she ran from said hangar after she heard Paul get shot, according to Creighton Waters. Don't believe me? Believe Creighton. They also talk about stippling. And we know that Kinsey said, well, 5 feet, but it's really 3 feet. 3 to 5 feet. I'll give him that. So there you go. And again, Maggie coming from the hangar. And, but Creighton says moments later, he picked up the 300 blackout and he shot her. Okay, well, what he didn't say was, how did he, Alec, get from point A to point B, which is where Maggie died, and from the feed room, you heard Worley say, it was a long distance, off to the right, which is a 41-degree angle. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have used the prosecution's own words, the prosecution's own witnesses, the prosecution's own crime scene investigator, and now all we're talking about is time, How long did it take Alec to get from feed room to Maggie to shoot her? To do that, he had to shoot Paul once, then he had to grab the second gun, then he had to run a distance of approximately 30 feet, and then aim and shoot. That, ladies and gentlemen, takes anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds. Maggie heard the first two shots, and according to Creighton, comes running to her baby. Running from where? The hangar. And ladies and gentlemen, we also know that if you just run, and Maggie was a big woman, but if you just run 30 feet, which is 12 human steps, that takes roughly 5 to 6 seconds. So Maggie got to her final resting spot in 5 to 6 seconds from the hangar, according to Creighton Waters. And there is no possible way, none, zero, zilch, nada, nothing, because you heard not only everybody's favorite, Kenny Kinsey, you heard the crime scene investigator from SLED, Agent Worley, say that they were shot within close range. They had stippling on it, and they said yards, feet, 30 feet, 30 feet away. You can't shoot, switch guns, run, drop to a knee, or aim and shoot in less than 10 seconds. Maggie had already beat you to the spot, which means what Agent Worley said was there could have been two shooters, someone as a lookout, and then Maggie surprised them, and they waited forever to shoot her at close range, and she didn't have any defensive wounds. Why? Because she knew who the killers were. She knew who the killers were. Copycats, leave me alone. Somebody come back with me with some evidence. Stop yapping on Twitter. Stop yapping on Facebook. Wherever you yap about and go, he's guilty. And come back with me with evidence from Creighton Waters, Kenny Kinsey, Agent Worley, SLED, time, distance, travel. Come back to me with some evidence. Show me that Alec could do it. You can't. I'll be waiting.